So hello and a very warm welcome back to HuwsNursery. So we're here in basically the potato corner of our vegetable garden. Now every single year we get blight. That's true, isn't it?
It is, yeah, every year.
And you know, blight is almost a bane as long as you let it run its course, but it hasn't hindered us from producing really good harvests of potatoes year on year. So tell us a bit about what blight is and what we can do.
Basically, blight's a fungal infection that really likes damp, humid conditions. So basically, the later in the season that you leave your potatoes, the more likely in our sort of area, in a damp climate that likes damp, moist conditions. So from July onwards, it's always a threat. And we're in West Wales, we get a lot of rain. We're in a period at the moment where it's warm and getting lots of showers, and the blight is starting to take hold. So we need to take some action now.
And I think the most important thing is, if you are growing potatoes, is almost every other day you need to look if there's any signs of blight, because the most important thing is to strike early, because very quickly it can take over the plant. And what you want to do is to ensure that as long as you prevent it from the leaves, then it won't go down the stem and into the tubers. So yeah, talk us through a bit more about the process of if we see some blight and the different options that we have.
Okay, well basically, according to the Royal Horticultural Society, if more than 25% of leaves are affected, then you need to take immediate action, which is to cut all the stems down to ground level and to leave your tubers in the ground for at least 2 weeks. That has a double effect. The first one is that the tubers get a chance for the skin to harden, and the other one is that hopefully most of the spores on the top of the soil will die. So it's really important to rake off, once you've cut all the stems, rake off all the leaves and all the bits of stem, and then just leave it for 2 weeks. The other one is, if only some of your leaves are affected, is to go around and remove those affected leaves, cut them off, keep on top of it, and as Hugh says, check it every day, because it spreads really quickly. And if you just leave it for a couple of days in these conditions, it can spread really quickly. And what you really don't want to happen is that the tubers are affected. So spores from blight can be washed down into the soil. So you want to get rid of it off the plants as soon as possible to minimise the chances of losing your potatoes. And
I think the most important thing when it comes to blight in potatoes is, if you're unsure, it's best to be safe than sorry. It's best to maybe have smaller potatoes than losing your whole crop. So if you're unsure, then I recommend the best thing to do is just cut it out anyway.
Okay, and then with our new potatoes, the foliage is dying back anyway. We're due to harvest them. We've done really well actually, because the blight's only starting to take hold now, but that doesn't really matter because we wanted to harvest them. So they've sort of reached about the maximum size. So we've learned how to manage and live with blight in West Wales, and it's all about trying to plant reasonably early, keeping an eye on frost, protecting the young plants with coverings of hay or straw as they're emerging to protect them from frost, and yeah, keeping on top of them basically.
So yeah, basically just to conclude, if there's under 25% of the plant which have signs of blight, then you can simply cut the bits of blight back. However, if there's any more, cut the stems to the base of the ground. Remember to remove any signs of the leaves or the stems which you've cut, and then leave the potatoes in the ground for 2 weeks, and you should be good to go. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for your expertise. And if you have any further questions, then don't hesitate to answer down below in the comments, and either one of us will answer any questions you have. And I look forward to seeing you again soon on HuwsNursery. Goodbye.
Okay, and yeah, don't forget 2 more important things. Your diseased material, don't add it to the compost heap, because the spores can live on there, and that includes your tubers as well, especially the tubers. The second one is, after working with infected material, it's important to disinfect your tools afterwards so you don't spread it to other plants. It can easily spread to tomatoes. It's the same disease.